Hey, what's going on, everybody? We're live. We're live. Welcome to another episode of the St. Clair Romero Show. This is episode 5, and my name is Dominic St. Clair.
My name's Eduardo Romero.
And we are going to be talking about VHS 94. But before we do that, we're going to do our traditional routine. We're doing our top 3 today, and our top 3 is going to be our top 3 deaths.
Yeah.
Uh, and
Death.
and we are going to pick. We got our top 3. It could be from any genre. Doesn't have to be horror. And we'll pick. See who goes wants to go first. Wants to go first? Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. So I was actually talking about this with Lindsay, and she brought up a couple of Disney deaths. Disney is good at killing parents, and so my number three is Mufasa from The Lion King. Mufasa is, usually in a Disney movie, parents aren't given a whole lot of. Well, actually, no, that's a lie. Never mind. Forget I said that. Mufasa is a really well realized character, instantly likable, like instantly kind of like what's that word I'm looking like an instant legend kind of a character, you know.
Iconic.
He's the embodiment of fatherhood and shit, you know. And his death scene is legitimately pretty sad and pretty powerful. It's the first, well, not I can't say the first death I ever saw as a kid, but it was one of the most. It's like the most memorable one that I remember from a kid, from being a kid. You know. Yeah. What do you think about Mufasa's death in The Lion King?
It's very dramatically sad.
Yeah.
Um, Normally, when you see a death scene, it's very like it's a death, like a shocking. But when it comes to Mufasa, it's like sad and depressed or yeah, dramatic at the same time. So
Mhm.
it's very heartwarming and heart taking. Pulls on your heartstrings a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And it's yeah, it's one of the, it's definitely up there with deaths in terms of character in the film, and it's very impactful. Even though I think how many minutes did Mufasa have in that movie? Because he
He
did get a
dies.
good chunk, didn't he?
Yeah. He's alive in the. He dies at the end of Act. Well, he is the. His death is the inciting incident, so he makes it almost through the end of Act One. So like the first movie's like 85 minutes, or he only has like maybe like 7 minutes of screen time in the whole movie at best when he's alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I honestly thought he was the main character.
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna be the, because he's already like grown and he has the iconic fur that Lion King has.
The
But
voice too.
yeah, the voice. Um, but then when he gets killed off, then you're like, wait, what? What's going on? And then of course you follow his son. And he grows
Yeah.
up. He becomes like his father. So
Yeah. Have you
yeah.
seen Have you seen the remake?
No, I haven't. I haven't seen
Yeah,
it.
me
I know that's
neither.
supposed to be
I wouldn't.
CGI.
It's bullshit, right?
Yeah, it's
I
like
can't
yeah,
believe they did that. Yeah.
you can't remake Lion King in live action, because I feel like the reason why I think The Lion King is so beloved is because of the characters, and the characters' facial movements are much more live in, I guess, animation than CGI. Because in CGI, you see an actual animal, and the animal moves. I guess I don't know. Do they talk?
Yeah, they talk. It's weird. They're so they talk, but they talk like animals would talk. So their mouths only move up and down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's why the remake is a bad idea from its idea form. The fact that it made it all the way through production is crazy to me. You know?
The thing is, like, there's certain films you shouldn't remake, or any film you should remake. You should just continue doing like sequels, or don't. Um, Lion King, The Exorcist is a perfect example. It's just they're just films are just legendary, iconic for a reason, and they don't deserve remakes. Um, so yeah, I haven't seen it. Hopefully, I don't get a chance to see it.
Yeah,
Someone decides to pull me in, and so I can watch it. And, okay, I'll watch it, but
yeah.
it's
Hopefully, my
probably
nieces and nephews ever want to see it. So
not.
that's the only way I can see myself doing it. Otherwise, no, I'm not ever watching that shit.
Yeah, that's cool. But yeah, that's cool. I guess it's to me.
Hmm.
My number one is uh forgot his name, but he's not really a big character in the movie. But he wears glasses and he's kind of bald. He's losing his hair, alopecia. If you
Okay,
you know what I mean.
hey, you're about to get slapped, dude. You better watch out who you say that in front of.
Don't you
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
keep my alopecia wife's name out
Alopecia
your
wife.
mouth. Yeah, motherfucking mouth.
She ain't black no more. She alopecia. She from alopecia now. Her language is Petian.
Oh man, freaking situation. Well, we're gonna have to talk about that sometime
Someday,
soon.
yeah.
Uh, and the Dave Chappelle thing too. We need to talk about both of those things in the same episode. But the film I'm talking about is Scanners, and it's that guy in the beginning who gets his head blown up
Yeah,
by I think they call them like they call them scanners.
yeah,
That's what they call them. They so what they do is they can hypnotize people. They can read their minds. They can make people do things. They can blow people's head up apparently,
yeah.
or stuff like
No,
that.
I've seen the movie. Yeah,
Yeah, so you know what it is. And yeah,
it's
that
a hell of a
first
way to start. Yeah, it's a hell of a way to start the fucking movie.
yeah,
For
yeah,
damn
yeah.
sure.
And interesting enough,
Oh
the
wait, fuck. Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm lying. Videodrome is the one I saw.
oh yeah, video drum. Yeah, yeah.
Not. Yeah, my bad. Not Scanners, but I should watch Scanners for sure.
Yeah, Mike, Mike Ironside?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in it. That's just like his first, I think, starring role.
Right on.
It's a Canadian production. David Cronenberg,
Uh huh.
uh, Michael's Canadian, so makes sense. And
A
yeah,
Canadian, a Canadian with the most American fucking name ever, Michael
yeah.
Ironside.
I don't know. Maybe he did make that name up. Maybe someone asked him, "What's your stage name?" And he just come up with it with the
Michael.
fly. It was like Mike
Yeah,
Ironside.
and he just went with the most American fucking thing he could think of. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but he's in it. He plays the villain,
Hmm.
um, and the main character is this and that. But anyways, we're not talking about the story. We're talking
Yeah.
about that opening scene where his head gets blown up. The I like the build up. It's not that long, but the build up's pretty cool. You see him actually like reacting to his head about to explode.
Yeah.
Like it's so much pressure, so much pain in his head. He's like moving around like
Yeah.
stuff like that. Kind of like Amber Heard during her trial.
Nah, that's just doing too much cocaine right there, dude. That's just too much. She's trying so hard not to tell you about her new business idea, dude. She's trying so hard not to be like, if you buy solar panels, I'll make you a sandwich, like shit like that.
Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, he's moving around. He's definitely in pain. He's uncomfortable. Mike Ironside's just living in it. He's like, "Rrr," like he's about to have an orgasm. Ooh, yeah. And he and his head blows up. Surprise! And actually looks real. The reason
Yeah.
why
Oh
it looks
yeah.
real is because they actually used a shotgun and they set it up and put it on the back of the prosthetic, and they put it on the back of the prosthetic, and they had a trigger set up, or it has a trigger, but they use
Yeah.
like I think one of those things to trigger
Timers.
it. like pull it
Okay.
down, and then like
Yeah.
it pulls the trigger, so don't someone doesn't have to do it themselves, so they don't get hurt. So that's why it looks so real, because it's an actual shotgun to the back of the head.
Okay.
That's why it flops. Like at first, if you see the movie, it like flops forward instead of like all over the place. Like it was a little bit all over the place, but like it flops forward because of the impact
Yeah.
back.
No, no, yeah, I've seen the clip before for sure. It's one of those shots, special effects shots so famous, that you just kind of watch it everywhere. You see it everywhere when it gets brought when people talk about good practical effects and stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely out there. Um, there's other head explosions in movies, but that one does take the cake. Everyone talks about it. It's one of the most famous ones. Like you said, yeah, practical. When it comes to practical gore and effects, it's one of the ones. David Cronenberg is known for his
Yeah,
special effects.
practical effects, yeah.
Yeah, special practical. He did The Fly, so we all know about that.
Yeah.
His body horror is very very what you call it.
Famous.
Yeah, well, yeah, famous, and it's also there's more detail to the the effect, I guess, mainly in The Fly.
Hmm.
I've seen what's that movie called? Like Jeremy Irons, they're like twins. He plays two twins.
No,
Um,
I'm not sure.
forgot, but that one's not really like effects heavy, but it's in body horror realm, but it's just a weird, I don't know, it's a weird thing. But that's
Okay.
just one of the movies that doesn't showcase that types of effects. But yeah, that the Scanners is my number one.
Okay. Yeah. My number two is again. I don't want to spoil too much stuff, so I'm going with some really just obvious famous picks, and I'm pretty sure anybody watching this show will know. So my number two pick is the T-800 in Terminator 2. Um, yeah, like it's such a great fucking yeah, it's such a great character because he's a robot, right? And
Yeah,
he has no emotion essentially. So while he is protecting John Connor from the T-1000, like because he is a robot and he doesn't understand people, like John Connor needs to grow up a little bit to help the T-1000 to T-800 fit in and all that. And then like in any good movie, these things feed into each other. So the T-800 is protecting John Connor. John Connor wants needs to step up and grow up a little bit to help him fit in a little better. In doing so, he has the father and son relationship that he never had in his life. And then at the very end, he has to let it all go and all that shit. And it's such a unexpectedly fully realized very human character arc for the T-800 and a very adult arc for a teenager. So, for people who say James Cameron is just kind of like an unoriginal, basics action guy, no, this guy puts a lot of thought into his shit. And one of the things that he's really underrated for is his writing of parental relationships, literal and metaphorical. We could also talk about Ripley and Newt and Aliens, similar kind of dynamic, you know.
yeah. The mother
Um
she not saying never had,
the,
but the mother
the dog
that she the daughter mother relationship that she because she did have a mother, but she lost her mother and she has to look for a new mother figure.
exactly.
Parent.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, and like that's one of what's something James Cameron isn't given enough credit for. And yeah, the T-800 just I mean, let's face it, like I think we all saw that scene as kids where the T-800 is seeing like I have to go. This is something I must do. Like you tear you cry. You don't want to see the T-800 die. He's been protecting John the whole goddamn movie. And then of
Yeah.
course there is the infamous, let me see if I can get this framed up right. Okay, I fucked up the shot, but you know what I'm saying, right? The
Yeah, but
fucking thumb.
like at first, like his hand comes down like
There
this,
you
and then
go.
it goes
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah. Damn it, dude. Damn it, that's such a
Iconic.
devastating shot. Yeah, man. I mean, what do you feel about Terminator Part Two?
Terminator Part Two. When it comes to the T-100, that was
Yeah.
it was a sad moment. You can tell like there's a built-in relationship, like there's a connection with John Connor and the T-800. Um, Nobody, I don't know if anybody mentioned this. Like, um, I don't think anybody mentioned this, but it seemed like a coming of age movie, if you
Oh
think
yeah,
about
yeah,
it,
yeah. In
because
some
of
ways.
John Connor and his. Because at first he's like a rebel, he breaks the law, or he's just he's a rebel and
Is
he's
irresponsible.
yeah, he's irresponsible. And then when he comes across the T-100 and of course the T-1000, of course his life is at stake. So he has to take things real seriously. And then throughout the film, he connects with the relationship with the T-100, and they both learn off from each other and they grow um, as character. As shocking as that sounds for the T-100, they both grow as characters, not just John Connor, but the T-100 as well. I think it starts to grow a conscience. I think,
Yeah,
or like because at first it was like kill, 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 like just like in the first movie, but John Connor tries to teach it to not kill. Like, hey, like when things get out of hand in a situation when you're fighting somebody or whatever, just beat them up and just leave them because they're not gonna do anything afterwards. Like
yeah,
you don't have to kill.
yeah.
So that's something the T-100 learns, um, and that's cool. And it's yeah, it's definitely a sad that scene.
I
Yeah,
know
I
now why
know.
you cry, but it is
Yeah.
something I cannot do. Such a fucking great line, dude. That is such a great fucking because you're right. Like, like fucking the T-800, a fucking machine, learns genuinely care about John Connor. You know, like he wants to cry, but he can't because he's a machine. And not just that, but he's a father figure. And there's I'm pretty sure there's plenty of times where dads want to cry, but they can't because they dads and they gotta look strong. You know what I mean? And like, yeah, dude, like it's multi-layered writing. Don't let anybody tell you James Cameron isn't a good writer. All right, the guy knows what he's fucking doing.
Yeah, and we all agree that that's the John Connor we love,
Yeah,
because I don't know what happened to him, the actor. He did Pet
Furlong.
Cemetery 2,
Yeah,
and then is that his name, Edward Furlong?
Edward Furlong. Yeah,
And
he
I
put out
don't
a
know,
rap album.
he did when
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
90s.
Yeah, sometime in the '90s, and it actually blew up in Japan. He actually had like a little rap career in Japan for a while.
That's cool. Yeah, and it's isn't it interesting that in James Cameron films, like especially in his early films, like there are actors that sometimes don't go anywhere. Like they don't do anything else, right? Like Edward
Yeah,
Furlong. I mean, he did like Pet Cemetery too, like I just mentioned. But I don't know what else he's done after. You said a rap song, rap album, but who else? Who else that is in a James Cameron film that um, I think in the first Terminator,
oh
Michael
God,
Keaton,
fuck, what's his name from Avatar? Sam Worthington.
Sam Worthington. Oh, okay. The
I mean, no,
English actor.
yeah, yeah, the guy from Avatar.
Yeah.
That guy was in Avatar. One of the, I think still the highest earning movie ever. Um, and yeah, like he played Jake Scully, the main character, and he couldn't sustain a career. I mean, yeah, he played in a couple of action movies, but he never became like a big actor like you would the main actor of the biggest fucking movie of all time to
Yeah.
be.
He didn't become a big actor in the recent, well, not recent, but the last film I saw him in was this thriller film, where it's like he's trying to find his family or something like that.
Yeah,
But it's on Netflix. You can watch it on Netflix. It's a Netflix film, and that one was interesting. It was pretty cool, but that's the last film I think he's done, and he, yeah, like you said, he didn't really take off. He just
yeah,
did a good amount of films, and then he just
kind of faded
worked
away.
often here and there, and that's it. He didn't really become big, even though he started in big movies. You expect someone to grow and become like be already big, and
He
continue
was
that.
in the highest grossing movie of all time. Like
Yeah,
that should get you a better career than the career Sam Worthington post Avatar, if you ask me.
I agree. And I don't know if he's going to be in Avatar 2 or 3 or 4.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be in all. Well, as far as I know, he's gonna be in all of them.
Because
Who
I
knows what
heard,
happens, right?
isn't it like a anthology, but like they're different stories? Like each movie is a different story.
I
I don't
I
know.
don't know, dude. I don't know. I don't know. Like fucking who knows where these stories go? You know what I mean?
That's cool. Yeah, yeah. That's good. Number two. So for me, number two, oh man,
Oh,
number
it's all
two,
good.
man.
Yeah.
So number two has to be Titanic,
Okay.
another James Cameron film.
So wait, I've never seen Titanic.
Oh, you never seen Titanic,
No.
dude?
Me and Lindsay have this conversation like every week. I haven't seen it. No. But I need to. Yeah. That one and True Crimes. What is it? The one he did
True
with Jamie
Lies.
Lee Curtis? True Lies and
Yeah,
Piranha
Jimmy
2 are the
Lee
ones
and
I haven't
Arnold.
seen. Yeah.
Yeah,
So what did you
yeah, I
say
think.
about Titanic?
um, So yeah, Titanic. It stars Leonardo DiCaprio and this other girl. Um, it's pretty much just a story about the Titanic, but it's not a, just about the ship. It's about the relate. It's about this.
Oh yeah, no, I mean I
You
know
know
what
what it is,
happens in
yeah,
the movie.
yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But you know the ending, right? You already know
Yeah.
what that is.
Everybody
Okay,
knows. Yeah.
yeah.
Cultural
So
osmosis.
so the ending with the last moment with Jack and that I forgot her name, but
Rose.
Rose, yeah, Rose,
See,
and
even I knew that.
yeah, but yeah, her and Jack in the last moment when they're in the water, it's like ice. It's really cold.
Yeah.
He's like hanging on the wood or the craft, whatever.
The
And
door.
he's like saying he said something. He's like they're both talking, and like he's dying, like he's slowly freezing up and dying. And then she lets go. He falls into the water. And you see his
Yeah.
body lifeless going down. And yeah, that's sad, you know.
Yeah.
And that one, uh, like I said, I never cry, but that one was like, you know, yeah, yeah, pretty
It's
good,
okay to it's
yeah.
okay to cry, Dom. It's okay to cry, dude. Why you crying, dude? It's all right. I'm just asking why you crying, dog.
I didn't actually cry. Like I was about. I think I was about this shit. Nah, I don't think so. I don't think so. You didn't. They didn't
Oh,
get me.
he almost admitted it to it, but he could not commit.
They ain't gonna get me. You
They
hear
ain't
me?
gonna get
They
you.
ain't gonna get me.
Movies are not gonna make me feel.
They're just movies.
You're
They're
supposed like
fiction.
okay, dude, but like okay, tell me as a horror fan, tell me as a horror fan, there's nothing more annoying than someone who goes into a movie who does not want to be scared and wants people to know they're not scared.
I I don't like those types of people when it comes to those things because
Yeah.
like if you're coming in, you know, not wanting to get scared, Lindsay, hold on, let me pull that up. It's on the screen.
I saw that. Tell him,
I know,
Lindsay.
Lindsay. I enjoy movies like especially like Titanic and stuff. Like I enjoy the movies. I enjoy the characters. I
Yeah.
get attached to them, and I do have feelings for them. And when those scenes come on, they're sad, and I know they're sad because I can tell like yeah, that's sad, bad, that's bad. But I
Mhm.
don't shed a tear. I don't go all out, you know, because you know
Sure. Sure, totally. Yeah, right on, dude. Totally. No, but like, but you
uh,
see how that's kind of the same thing though. Like, okay, like, because like to me, if you're gonna go see a horror movie and you don't want to be scared, that's like watching porn and without any intention of even getting aroused, you know, or
mhm.
like watching a comedy without wanting to laugh. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
to
yeah.
me, I hope a movie makes me. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't go into every movie wanting to cry or nothing like that. But I do when I will sit down and watch a movie. Like I hope it does move me. I hope it does like make me feel something and shit. You know, like and yeah. Okay, dude. Yeah, you totally don't cry. Gotcha.
No, yeah, no, it's cool. Like I like I said, yeah, I do feel the characters and stuff. And when the movie's over, I just go back to normal life. I just do my
Well,
thing,
yeah, dude. I mean, it's a movie, yeah. But yeah, there ain't nothing wrong. Like I remember my family in 2017, we all took a little family vacation to a resort in Cancun. And while we were over there, have you ever been to Mexico at all?
No, I've been to Puerto Rico
Dude,
and
Mexico I'm sorry, what were you saying? Yeah, go ahead.
no, yeah, I've been to Puerto Rico and Brazil.
Yeah. No, you should. Movie theaters in Mexico are fucking crazy. First of all, it's like $3 a ticket. Okay, like $3 a ticket to get in. It's super cheap. And the movie theater, the screen, they're super clean. The seats are incredibly comfortable. The sound is amazing. The screen, like, yeah, it's an amazing experience. So in my family, we're all fluent in Spanish and English. So when we go to Mexico, we like to go to the movie theaters. And we were on vacation as a family, so we went to go see Coco, the Pixar movie. Yeah, we went to go see Coco because it was playing in Mexico. So yeah, dude, the whole family cried. We all cried. We all cried together at that movie and shit. There's just something, especially there was just something about. Excuse me. There's just something about watching Coco in Mexico, as Mexicans, that movie's great in and of itself, but I think that experience of seeing it as a family in Mexico really made it extra special for all of us. And because that's where we're from, and that's where sadly, um where we bury our grandparents and stuff like that. And that's what a lot of what the movie's about. So, it spoke a lot to my family and shit. So for real, like you okay, all right, never mind. I don't want to pick too hard on this crying
I want
issue.
to comment
I don't want
on
Okay, no, go ahead. Go ahead. What were you saying?
no, no, I want to comment on the going to the different countries and watching movie theaters.
Hmm.
I watched Parasite in South Korea. Um,
What? You saw
yeah,
what? How that happened?
so I was thinking of going somewhere with my friends. So like me and my friends, we were in college, and we loved film so much that we were like, hey, like we always go to the theater to watch a movie, right?
Uh-huh.
And when it comes out, and of course they're all American theaters. And we were like, hey, let's go watch a movie in a foreign country that is from that foreign country and not from America. And I
Yeah.
was like, bet, all right, deal. And so we gathered up, save up some money. We took a trip. We went to a flight in LAX. We went to South Korea. We went to Seoul, and we went to the local movie theater over there. And there was a bunch of Korean people, and sometimes you get mixed races. So of course, there's some white people there, but the majority are Koreans. And we would go in, like you said, like it's cheap, like $3. And over there, I think the what they call it over there,
The exchange rate.
yeah, 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 but it's cheap.
Yeah.
We went in there, sat. I think we sat at the top row. Yeah, we sat in the top row, and we watched it. And I think the thing about because in that theater they had subtitles, so they
Hmm.
had the they were speaking Korean, um, as you should, because it's a Korean movie. It's normal. And they had subtitles, so they had English subtitles on the screen, and then they had Korean subtitles. So what they did was is that um, they had different theaters. So there or not different theaters, different blocks, right? There
Hmm.
are different screens. They're what was it? For Korean films, they had two screens. So they had Parasite in one screen and Parasite in the other. This Parasite has English subtitles, and this other Parasite has Korean subtitles.
Uh-huh.
So they cater to Americans as well, because a lot of times Americans are influential like everywhere. So it's like, of course, you're gonna have subtitles.
Yeah.
So we went to the one that had subtitles English, and but there was Koreans there, and we were sitting on the top row. We were with our friends, and then there was Koreans here and there, and there are certain scenes that popped up. If you've seen Parasite, like you know the scenes, and some scenes like people were laughing and like, and then some scenes are like. Some of the dark scenes I was like and it's just like an American theater, man. Everyone has the same reaction like when it comes to the theater experience, and I found it very like um just familiar, and it's not it hasn't changed.
Yeah.
So it's a good experience to go to different countries and watch a movie. That place was clean too. Uh, there's no like soda pop and popcorn, stale popcorns on the floor or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's clean as can be, and it's a fun experience. It's a fun experience, and we did
Yeah.
it. We did the challenge, and we came back, and and we watched it on streaming platform after that. And that was cool.
Yeah,
So
yeah. No, I feel like Americans take movies for granted sometimes because it is such a I mean, I think let's be real here, like maybe the whole world has this problem now, but most of our movies are clogged with some Disney product over or another, with on at least one screen, usually two or three. So it is nice, especially when you go to other countries. Even I mean, don't get me wrong, we saw fucking Coco there, so that was another Disney product and shit like that, you know.
yeah.
But it is kind of nice also to kind of see what's playing there locally. We've seen a couple local Mexican movies over there too, and that's also a fun experience and shit like that. Um, but yeah, yeah, that's all I have to say about that.
Okay, yeah, yeah, and so that one was you said.
That
Oh
was
no,
your
I
number
said
two.
Titanic.
Yeah,
Yeah, I said
Titanic.
Titanic. So that's what we were talking about. Okay,
Yeah.
you go. It's yours.
Yeah, so my number one is predictably from a Stanley Kubrick movie, and that is Gomer. Have you seen Full Metal Jacket?
Yes, I seen it. Yeah,
Okay,
I
yeah,
seen. Yeah, I seen Full Metal Jacket, but I only saw the opening, or like
the
the first
opening,
half.
the first half.
Yeah,
Okay,
the first half. Yeah.
that's what I'm going to be talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, so my number one death that I'm willing to spoil because everyone's seen Full Metal Jacket is Private Pile at the end of the first part of Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Full Metal Jacket as a movie is about the effects of dehumanization and depersonalization in the military. It's a movie about how, in order to become a killer, someone has to lose their humanity first, and the sort of institutional version of that and how toxic that can be. Like Gomer Pyle is a tragic figure because I believe that he signed up for the war to be a fucking he well, they all did, right? They all signed up to be heroes. I mean,
Mhm.
actually, no, this was Vietnam. They could have all gone drafted.
Yeah, I think they were all had to go.
They all had to go. You're right. Yeah,
Everyone,
this was
if you
Vietnam.
got
Yeah,
drafted, then you had to go. Yeah.
right. Yeah, so they were all drafted, but like Gomer Pyle, I mean, his opening, his famous introductory scene is him choking himself. You know, like he's a doughy, dopey, innocent guy, And you sort of see this echoed later in the movie. I don't want to spoil it because I mean you haven't seen it later, but the idea of a child or a childlike person, all like losing themselves to war, it's something that becomes a major part of the movie, and even in the second act. But I believe Gomer Pyle's death is just like a really interesting statement, you know, on the sort of like I said, dehumanizing, depersonalizing aspects of getting you ready to be a soldier. And the thing is, not everybody is meant to be a soldier. Some people are legitimately not cut out for it, and I think, you know, part of Full Metal Jacket, what it's saying, part of what a lot of Vietnam movies had to say about that was how the draft is unethical and how it's wrong because people like Gomer Pyle should have been fucking, I don't know, studying economics at a college somewhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He had no business in boot camp, let alone in war. I mean, the only thing that allowed him to be a killer is for him to lose the trust he had in others. You know, and that's such a like childlike and innocent thing because if you think about it, most of us stop having outright faith in others by the time we're like maybe like 11 or 12, you know. At that point most of us stop being that trusting, and Gomer Pyle's biggest downfall is that he remained trusting until the end, you know.
Yeah, he's I feel like he was also like mentally unstable.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, also because like there's certain times where it's like, he has those moments, and then I'm like, dude, like, dude, he's not gonna make it.
Yeah.
Uh, Something's gonna, and I thought he was gonna, like, when I mean he's not gonna make it, it's like I thought he was gonna go into the field, and he was gonna get killed over something or
Hmm.
something like that. But he got killed during boot camp. you know.
Right, right,
Um,
yeah.
and he also shot the
The
drill
gunnery
sergeant.
sergeant, yeah.
Yeah. So
Gunnery
but
Sergeant Hartman.
yeah, drill sergeant. Yeah, and the but yeah, throughout the times, like, yeah, he's being trying to be dehumanized by him, and he also gets kind of um what you call it, picked on or something like that by
Yeah, yeah.
the other people too. And it's
Hmm.
not because they wanted to, it's because he sometimes he gets them in situations they don't want to be, so they kind of go pay back for him. Because there's one scene, right, where like he hit like um Sergeant
With the
Harwood, like,
soap.
he finds a donut.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, he
yeah.
finds the donut, and he's like, okay, you're gonna eat it. You're gonna eat it, and everyone
Yeah.
else has to come and like do push-ups, in a line, and you have to be
Yep.
in the middle eating the
Yep.
donut.
Yep. And I love, and you know, fuck, dude. Again, I don't want to fucking go on another fucking long tangent about why Kubrick is a fucking genius, but you know that shot of him. Think about just think about the mise en scene here, Nathan. If you're listening, I bet you're laughing your ass off. But think about what's being shown here, right? So Gomer Pyle snuck this fucking donut, right? And everybody's getting punished for it. You know, he gets to stand there and eat his donut while he's crying. By the way, you see him cry before,
Yeah.
as the camera pulls away. He's weeping as he's crying, and he is the center of attention. He is, everything that is happening is around him. You know, it's like he's made a spectacle of himself. He is the king of incompetence. You know what I mean? He is the king of laziness and all that shit. He is the like what the whole party is for, and just that imagery of him standing tall but with no pride whatsoever, with nothing but shame, while all these other soldiers are just fucking literally fucking mouth to the ground like they're kissing it, you know, like
Mhm.
doing push-ups and shit. Like, again, Kubrick is the fucking, he's the goat. He's the fucking goat, dude. Nobody's ever gonna do it like him, in my opinion. but that's
Yeah,
my number
he's
one.
yeah, yeah. He's no, I agree. He's the one. Especially like if I've seen a lot. Um, the movie I watched the most from his is The Shining.
Uh huh.
Um, even though Stevie King doesn't like that movie, he despises it. I think still. Um, but I just like the choices in filmmaking when it comes to the story and the characters and the scenes because almost every scene is like a picture
Yeah.
and in most scenes like there are hidden subtle messages or hidden subtle things in there where it's like oh wait what and it's like
That's
connected
every Kubrick movie.
and it's
That is
yeah
every that's the magic of Kubrick. I
mhm.
have seen okay, I haven't seen all his movies yet still. There's some I've just never made the time for, but I've seen at least the majority of his movies, at least a dozen times each, you know? Full Metal Jacket, Paths of Glory, Doctor Strange Love, A Clockwork Orange, The Shining, 2001 A Space Odyssey. Did I already say Full Metal Jacket?
Yeah, you said familiar. Yeah.
Okay, and Eyes Wide Shut. So at least those seven movies I've seen at least a dozen times. Some I've seen maybe 30, 40 times, you know? And the magic of Stanley Kubrick, dude, is that every single time to this day, every single time I watch any of his movies, I just see a whole other layer that I never saw before, you know? And that's why he is the GOAT. Like he made one movie that feels like every one of his movies felt like 100 movies from everybody else, you know.
Mhm.
And again, man, like goat, fucking goat, straight up.
Yep, I agree. All right, so that's our top three. Did you want to get into the
Wait,
book?
did you do your number one?
I think so. I did Jack from Titanic. I
Uh
did
huh.
Scanners.
Yes.
Did I do another one?
I don't think you did your number one. No.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll go for number one. um, Let me see because it had something. I think it's that one film. I forgot. Wait, what was it? Oh yeah, yeah. Michael Myers.
Okay.
Halloween, the original Halloween 2.
All right. I never
So
seen Halloween 2.
oh dude, it's awesome.
Okay.
It's if you've seen Halloween 1, Halloween 2 is the same movie.
Okay.
What I mean by that, it's like it's a continuation of the same night in the same movie. So it's like part two. Like if you were to say how, how do I say it?
Wait a minute.
Halloween
Wait a
one.
minute. Wait a minute. So wait, part two. Part two starts with Loomis telling everyone that Michael escaped, right? Like right away.
Um, part part two is the one where Dr. Loomis tells. No, part one is the one he tells everyone he escaped.
Okay.
Part two is when he tells everyone we have to kill him or something like that because he shot him like 6 times.
The mental hospital is a big part of it, isn't it?
It's a regular hospital.
I think I may have seen it then. Actually, I might be wrong though. Keep going.
hmm So Michael is still trying to hunt down Lori, Jamie Lee Curtis,
Hmm.
and she ends up in the hospital after her injuries, and then he goes to the hospital and starts killing everybody. And then there's this awesome final scene where Michael gets shot in the eyes,
Okay.
and his eyes start to bleed, and he can't see, so he's like swinging his knife, trying to like cut somebody or
Uh
kill
huh.
somebody,
Yeah.
and he can't see. So the only way he can go to somebody and know where they are is when they make noises. So what they
Okay.
do is that they uh, twist open or not twist, yeah, twist propane tanks to release gas. So they release gas and the gas makes noise, and so he goes towards the gas. And
Okay.
and
That's smart. That's smart.
Yeah, and so they both,
Damn, that must be like an explosive ass ending then.
yeah, and so Jamie and Donald Pleasance are both taking turns, twisting the knots
Yeah.
and making noise. So the last turn was Donald, and Donald Pleasance says, "Get out of here, get out of here," and and so Jamie runs, and she goes hides behind a cart or something like that,
Yeah.
and then fuck, dude, it's awesome. So Dr. Loomis, Donald Pleasant, he like turns to Michael, and Michael turns to him, and he's like, "It's your time, Michael," and then he flips the lighter, and then fucking explosion happens.
Yeah.
What's so fucking awesome is it's not even done yet. The explosion happens. Lori's like behind the cart, and she's like, "Oh, everything's all right." And then Michael walks out of the flames, and he's all flamed up, and he's
Okay.
walking towards her, and then he falls down, and he dies.
All
That's
right.
yeah, it's fucking awesome.
That sounds badass, man. You know what? I wouldn't. I haven't seen it because I would definitely have remembered that had I watched it.
Yeah, it was supposed to be the last one, with Michael Myers, because they weren't supposed to do a sequel with Michael.
Yeah,
They're-
Halloween 3 was like supposed to just like an anthology kind of thing, right?
yeah, 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 exactly. But originally, they weren't supposed to make more. But then when the studios went to John Carpenter, he was like, they were like, yeah, let's do a sequel. And John was like, "Oh yeah, I got an idea. Let's make an anthology." So every Halloween night, there's a different story, a different horror story.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Nope, let's bring back Michael." And John's like, "No," but then of course I think he got in a contract or whatever, and then he had to write the sequel, and someone else directed it, and they made it, and then they killed him off at the end, and then that's when they went to go do Halloween 3. It's called Season of the Witch,
Season of
and
the Witch, yeah.
yeah, and that was supposed to be the start of a anthology series.
Yeah, I never saw that one because like I always kind of thought like why is like this ain't Michael Myers? The fuck why would I watch this fucking fake ass Halloween? Well, now I know the whole story. I kind of wish I did see it. That kind of sounds like a fun thing to do.
Yeah, and that's a good movie. It's so underrated. Yeah, it doesn't feature Michael, but it's a definitely good like original story. And there are some like what you call it, rumors that Season of the Witch is gonna be the next Halloween film. I don't know, but it's gonna somehow incorporate.
After the trilogy or what?
Yeah, after the trilogy,
Okay.
it's somehow going to be incorporated with Michael, so that's just speculation. That's what people are saying. But yeah, that's Halloween 2, Michael's Infernal Death.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool. Uh I know. Well, actually, no. I'm sorry, Dom. That's it. You ready to go on to the next segment?
yeah, yeah. Let's move on.
All right. So we're doing plugs, right?
Yeah, plugs.
Yeah. So we're doing our plugs between our top three and our main features from here on out. So I want to go ahead and take a moment once again to give a shout out to luxmorebroadcast.com, which is also named Luxmore Broadcast on Instagram, YouTube, and I believe Facebook as well. That's my buddy Nathan's art hub. He's a super talented guy, really great guy as well. We made a couple short movies together. I helped do a voice and some animation work, or really he did the animation. I just did the posing on his first short movie, Sundance, Last Chance at the Sundance Hotel, which is available on YouTube. Very fun, very amusing little comedy film. And he is currently trying to raise funds to make his next movie, Killing Charlene, which is this really twisted story about a guy trying to get to his ex girlfriend and televangelist, or not, well, not a televangelist, but a sort of self-help guru type. You know, it's pretty cool. Like it all makes sense when Nathan explains it out for you. It sounds like a really cool movie. So if you want to help out Nathan and also check out the cool work that he has done, check out luxmorebroadcast.com or filthy luxmore slash luxmore broadcast on social media. I'd also like to take a moment to plug some of my own shit here. Mainly my main channel, Pop Counterculture, which has my last short film, Nerd Pilot, the trailer for our movie, Water Under the Bridge. And I'm soon gonna be start doing some live stream stuff on there that I think will be kind of fun to do. I've been thinking about writing and producing a song within a day and live streaming the whole process, you know. And also Machine Hunter IRL, which is my Horizon game series centric YouTube channel where I do live streams. Right now, I'm working on a tier list video, which should be out by next week. So if you like the Horizon Zero Dawn, Forbidden West, or Frozen Wilds, the PlayStation and PC games, go ahead and check out that channel. I'm also thinking about doing a Last of Us Part Two stream because I hated it the first time I played it, and I want to see if I like it more after about 2 years. And last thing I want to plug is my music, Eddie Los Guardos, which is Ed E Los Guardos, all 4 words altogether, which is on SoundCloud, Spotify, all major services, and YouTube as well. Go ahead and check out my stuff. Like it if you like it. Don't if you don't. I appreciate anybody who gives it a listen or a watch or anything like that. And those are my plugs. Dom, what are yours?
So my plugs, I got a gaming channel called HT, all caps HT. I stream games. I make little, videos just regarding games, and that's what the channel is and what I do on there. Court Stitch channel. We do the podcast. Hopefully soon I'll make a film again. I will. I have actually one that I want to make, but that's gonna be later down the line. And that's all the films, whether it's short films or fan films, like I'll go on this channel. And yeah, that's it. That's all
Cool.
my plugs.
Um,
Yeah.
bef- so actually, can we take like a little 5 minute break before we go on to the main review?
Yeah.
All right, we'll be back at 8:08. Everyone, thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Yep.
Okay, I'm back. Dang, bro, you look like you're in a horror movie over there.
Yeah, it's dark and the
I
lighting's all
see
set
that.
up. Ready to go.
Yeah. Oh, so I forgot to before we go on to the main review, I forgot to say what I wanted to do for the top three next week. We're gonna go for a pretty evergreen one. We're gonna go for top three favorite original musical scores, not soundtracks, scores, original music made for the movies.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
and that's it. Other than that, you ready to talk about VHS 99 or VHS 94?
Yep.
All right, man, lead the way.
Okay, so VHS 94. So this movie is it's a good I like it. It's a nice little anthology found footage horror film.
Where does it rank in the series for you? Have you seen all of them?
No, I haven't
I
seen
haven't
all.
seen Viral.
Yeah,
I've seen
I
the
haven't seen.
first two in this one.
Yeah. Um, I put it up there right next to the first one
Okay. Have you
because
seen the
this.
second one?
Huh? Yeah,
Have you seen? Yeah. Okay. Am I lagging?
a little bit. Well, you're
Okay.
good.
I'm gonna.
You're good.
Okay. I'm gonna refresh. See if that catches it up a little bit.
All right.
All right. I'm back. There you go. Cool. Yeah. No lag, right?
Yeah, no lag. I can hear you.
Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Right on. So what were you saying again? Where does it rank with you?
Yeah, right next to the first one.
Okay. Do you like the second one more or less than the first one?
No less. I mean, it was a good one. Like there's like an insane story, but other than that, it's cool. But I like this one more because it has that '90s VHS vibe as it should. Because I don't think people are gonna be still making VHS tapes. Like
Mm-hmm.
they made like another one, right? It's not set in 1994 or in the 80s or whatever, and it's like
Mm-hmm.
modern day, like 2022. And it's like, wait, who's still making VHS tapes? Might as well be
Yeah.
DVDs or streaming
Well, I
product.
mean, VHS, the series has a really bad. It's not very consistent though, in having everything either be or even look like VHS. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, but
Personally, okay. So it's been a while since I've seen the first two VHS movies, so admittedly, I could have them kind of mixed up in my head. But whichever one had the cult compound and the alien, I think it was the second one, right? The one that had the cult compound, and the kids with the UFO invasion.
yeah,
That was the second one, right?
yeah, that was the second one. Yeah,
Okay, so for me, number two is the best one. Number one is the second best one, and 94 is the third best. I still like it. I still like 94,
yeah.
but compared to the other ones, it's not as good. How do you feel about it?
I I like it more than two. I don't
Okay.
know why, but I like it more than two because, like I said, it has that '90s VHS vibe,
Yeah.
uh, and but also like some of the stories are cool. like the first like one with the Rat King, I think it's called.
Yeah,
That one
Ratman.
was yeah,
Rat man,
Ratman.
all hell
Yeah.
rat man. Yeah. Yeah, dude. I will okay, so I think okay, so we didn't talk about this before the show, which is a foul on us, but uh so I think we should probably just kind of give our general thoughts and go to like short film by short film and the spoilers. You want to do it like that?
Yeah, we can do it like that. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so generally speaking, first of all, I like this movie. This was a really fun, entertaining watch. I think if you like horror, especially if you like practical effects, this is a great a great way to spend especially if you're drinking. Cheers to anyone drinking out there. If you're drinking, yeah, this is a great movie to kick back, have a beer, and have some friends, or your significant other over and just have a good time watching it. I do like this movie, but one thing that I really didn't work for me is this is a whole new set of production companies making this movie. I think one of them is a special effects house primarily, and you can tell because if there is one complaint I have about this movie, it is that it really felt like each one was the creature feature, except for the wraparound story. Like every short film, every film in the movie felt like it was just building up to a big monster reveal and then a climactic fight, which is the only thing that. Which, I mean, don't get me wrong, I liked all of the short films here, and I thought they were all fun and creative in their own ways. But I kind of felt like towards the end, like, okay, all right, yeah, when's the monster coming?
Hmm.
What did you think about it generally?
I agree that yeah, a lot of the shorts are monster films. The main story with the SWAT team, that one's like it's not really a monster, it's like a cult type of
Yeah.
story.
Hmm.
Um, oh yeah, I agree. Like overall, it's definitely monster filled with build-ups to the monster.
Yeah.
Um, Even the second one, that build-up took too long, and
Yeah.
it was like, okay, where are we gonna get to the monsters? And
Hmm.
yeah, it's I mean, but they're cool. They're fun. Nice to see.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it felt like there was different production companies, especially the third story. That I think that was shot in Indonesia, and
Yeah. Okay. I can't wait to talk about that one. That one's going to
yeah,
be an interesting
yeah.
one to get through.
But yeah, overall, yeah, cool movie, nice little anthology film in found footage style, and yeah, that's cool. Yeah, my thoughts.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I guess really there isn't a whole lot we can say here without getting into the weeds here. So I guess we're gonna go for a really short, non-spoiler section here. There is one thing I would like to add is that, like, I genuinely feel like most importantly, um good movies, like I always say, like, movies are group projects, right? Like, it's not just the director and the writer, it's the directors, the writers, the actors, the editors, the cinematographers, everybody working together to tell a story, hopefully, that everybody's passionate about telling. There's one thing that I really did enjoy about this movie is I really felt like all of the short films, all the people making them, all the crews, all the companies, I felt like they really gave a shit, man. I feel like they really, all of them went to make the best movies they could. I don't think it's any of their faults that they all kind of made the same movie, but
Yeah.
but I do think, despite that, they all managed to at least make movies that were different enough to stand out, at least in concept and in execution. Um, and ultimately it adds up to a pretty damn good movie. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say. Unless you got something else to add, let's move into spoilers.
Uh, no, no, that's it's good. I agree. From that part, I feel as yeah, there's like different filmmakers that came into the project, give their own story and spin, and yeah, it's a good summary. for
Yeah.
that, and it's a good film. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and break these movies down one by one. So we're going to go ahead and get into spoilers in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you ain't seen VHS 94, get the fuck out because we're about to spoil it. Dom, let's go ahead and talk about the wraparound story. What'd you think of it?
Um, it was interesting. It's not my favorite. But it was interesting. I like that they implemented a little like mythology or story to the VHS tapes, like the
Uh-huh.
cursed VHS tape stories. It's like a cult that formed itself around the VHS curse tapes, and
Well, we're watching
they
the
call.
origin story here because this is in '94 before the other VHS movies take place. So this is like the first school of it, you know?
Yeah, yeah, and this is like the people. Yeah, they got, yeah, exactly, and they got together and they were like, "Hey, let's start a cult. Let's get make people watch the tape so their eyes will bleed out and they die." So that I thought that was a cool, interesting, take in the story. But it's not my favorite, overall story.
Yeah.
In that film.
Yeah, yeah, no, we were saying earlier that every film, every short film clearly was made by a different production team and production company. And I think the wraparound story was made by a production company that regularly does porn. Because like, dude, the writing is so bad. The acting, God bless these actors. They're trying. They are really trying, but like if there is a weak link in this chain here, it's the wraparound story. Like it was so like it reminded me of like early PlayStation 1 games where like nobody put any money in their voice actors, where they got like their cousin Phil to be like the main bad guy, so he's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Oh no, he's coming after me." Ah, like really bad shit like that, dude. And yeah, like the wraparound story is the one thing that just didn't work for me. And literally it ends with like two chicks tying a guy to a chair. They might as well have started fucking like right after that. This is a fucking prologue to a porno.
Yeah, I agree. It's not it's not even there's no like consistency with the characters. Like I feel like we were just jumping around too fast. Like we were
Yeah,
fast forward. Um, Especially when we get to the point where he's tied up. I was like, okay, how did this happen?
yeah,
This happened so fast. Um, the dialogue was just bad. Even the two ladies, the two cops that turned out to be part of the cult, they're just
yeah.
like, yeah, dude, something. They just say like they're
They were
saying
just
like weird
bad
stuff.
lines, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then the guy's like, "What is going on here,
What's going
man?"
for real?
What?
Whoa, bro. What is this? Oh, I got two girls tying me up. Oh, this can't be good. Yeah, dude. All bad shit like that, man.
Yeah, it's definitely bad. I don't know who wrote that, but yeah, I'm sorry, but that was bad.
Yeah, yeah. That was the only bad thing in the movie. Hey, like again, like not knocking anybody for the because if there is one good thing to say about the first part is the set design is pretty fucking good. It is at least a good looking wraparound story, even if everything else about it is really bad.
Yeah, it's a good it's a good set. It's a pretty big one too, right? Like they're
Mhm.
walking around. I think it's like a facility or a build like abandoned building, and
Yeah,
they're like going through the buildings and they're finding the bodies and the tapes and the TVs and stuff like that. So
yeah,
yeah, it's a pretty cool set design. Yeah, I agree.
yeah. So let's go ahead and talk about the first real movie here. Uh, it's called Storm Drain, but in my heart, it's called All Praise Ratma. What'd you think of it, Dom?
Love it. I love it, man. It's
It was a great way to get back into the spirit of things, right?
yeah, it's a nice intro to to start off with in the VHS movie. The uh the reporters and going into the sewers. Okay, so we explain it. They're going into the sewers and try to find this rat king or rat monster or whatever. But they don't believe it, or she doesn't believe it, or the reporter, the camera guy. I think he wants to investigate, and he kind of believes it.
Uh-huh.
And they go inside and they're looking around. They find these homeless people, and they're like all have they're all like messed up. I guess like they're all like covered with some
Yeah.
type of oil, and their mouths have acid in them or something like that.
Yeah.
Uh, and so they get both get captured, and then you see the Rat King or the Ratma come
Ratma.
out, and it's a cool looking creature. Um,
Really good looking
yeah,
creature.
yeah,
Surprisingly good. Like fucking right there, dude. That was worth all the fucking time and effort. Like that was a fantastic effect.
yeah, and you find out that one of the people that are supporting or supporting
The religious guy.
the religious guy, and he's like, you know, he like knows the monster, or like he knows how to tame the monster or in
Yeah.
some way, and the monster has acid that spits on the camera guy's face, and he's like burning up like ah. And then the lady, she goes up to the monster, and you have this tense moment between the monster and the news reporter, and then it cuts, and then they find her. She comes back to the news station, and she like gives her like take on the Ratma, and like she's promoting the Ratma prophecy or something like that.
Yeah.
And then she spits acid in the co-anchor's face, and he's like, his
Ah, his
face
face
melts.
fucking melts, dude. Okay, man. This was such a fucking. I'm sorry. Did you have anything more to say?
um, well, yeah. Last thing to say about that, I like the little build up.
Uh
Uh,
huh.
that was a good build up. Also the whole the effects on the monster was pretty good. It was
Right.
surprisingly good because um you thought it was gonna be like a basic like you know everyday like rat monster or
Yeah.
whatever that you usually see in movies, but it was a cool looking creature.
You know what I loved about the reveal is that like so one thing that I really enjoyed the of fucking I think this particular short might be a little too good to put up front. You know, I think they should have saved it for the back end because it's such a fucking like ride. But I also get why they put it up front. I mean, this is an amusing fucking short movie. I really appreciate how not only did this tell its story, it created a little world with like the little commercials and the newscasters and all that. It sets up this little world of this town where there's a rat man, and it's totally believable, you know. It kind of did what Blair Witch did. It talked to the townsfolk, and the
Yeah.
townsfolk were believable and all that. And the thing that I loved the most, dude, the thing that had me cracking up when I saw Ratman pop out is that like early on they have like that little like artist depiction of what like Ratman looks like. It looks like a little 6-year-old kid drew it, you know, like borderline stick figure. And then you see the Ratman at the end, and it actually looks like that, but it's scary. That was such a funny, clever little fucking like thing in a movie that's full of funny and clever little moments, you know?
I agree. Yeah, it's a fun little short. Yeah, it does have like the commercials, breaks, and funny ads, and of course like the news anchor guy too, like him, and Yeah, it's fun. It was a funny, yeah, a little short. Yeah, I agree for sure. Yep.
Yeah, and it's not just funny. Like it nails the horror when it needs to be
Yeah.
scary. It is scary. Like when in the opening moments where we're inside the tunnels with them, like that was legitimately intense. I was like, oh fuck, like don't look at that fucking tent, you morons, run. But yeah, no, you know, on a scale of 1 to 5, I give, what's it called, Storm Drain. I call it all hell Ratma. I give that movie a fucking 4.5, borderline 5. Let's just say 5. It's a fucking 5 for me.
I'm gonna give it a 4. It's a it's a good one. You know, I enjoyed it,
Uh-huh.
but it's not my favorite out of uh the film.
It's you know what, you're not wrong, but I think for me, am I saying this is the best one? I'm saying this is the best one. This is my personal favorite. Like
Okay.
right off the bat, I think Storm Drain, aka All Hell Ratma, I think it is a fantastic way to start the movie to the point that the movie doesn't top it. So let's keep going. Oh, I'm sorry. Do you have anything else to say to that? Like, I don't want
No,
to cut
no.
it short.
I gave it a 4 out of 5, and I thought it was a good, cool, fun story, and it's definitely one of the best, in my opinion, in that film.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
no, yeah, I was gonna say, let's go to. You want to go to number 2 or the
Yeah.
next story?
Yeah, so number 2 is called The Empty Wake. This is um to me this is the most found footage movie. You know, where it really just feels like they found it. Yeah, it's about a woman who is doing an overnight wake for a person with no known family or relatives or anything like that. Yeah, Dom, what did you think of The Empty Wake?
It was I gotta be honest, the build up was actually um interesting,
Uh-huh.
or it was quite tense. Um,
Mhm.
just the it definitely is found footagey because you are waiting, 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 because there's a lot of like waiting involved because she's like walking around and all that stuff. But when it comes to the realization, like the body is still alive, and she's going around places, she's trying to escape, or she's looking for something. Like there's some tense moments in there.
Yeah.
The and what you call it? Oh yeah, and that ending too.
Yeah,
That was good.
yeah.
That was insane.
Yeah,
Uh, do you like before we get too much into it? Um, the guy, I know the guy comes back to life,
mhm.
but then she becomes him. Like, who was that guy that came in earlier before shit went down?
I don't know. I think it was like his I don't I you know, it's a horror movie, so they're not going to explain it, but my personal read is that these two dudes go way back. They got involved in some weird shit, and like him being there did something that woke the dead guy up a little bit.
Mhm.
Yeah. How did you read it?
I thought it was like this. I thought he was like a priest,
Uh-huh.
and I thought it was like he came in to make sure the guy was dead because if they like maybe the priest was doing an exorcism on him,
Uh-huh.
so that's why he showed up. But I guess he accidentally, like you say, accidentally woke him up, and he
Mhm.
came back to life, and possessed. But it's just the effects. It made it seem like he was a zombie for some reason. I don't know.
Mhm.
Like I said, I don't know exactly
Are you
what.
talking about the dead guy?
Yeah, the dead guy. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
the dead guy had some weird crazy effects going on with his mouth open all the way or some shit.
yeah, yeah. Well, his body was falling apart, so like his
Yeah,
half of
yeah.
his head was falling off,
That's true.
his hand fell off.
That's a great moment, by the way, when you
Yeah,
see the other half of his face laying there and it has the eye that sees her. That's a
yeah,
great little moment right there.
yeah, yeah. It was a nice little shot right there. Uh,
So what did you think of the stylistic choice of having so many like locked off still cameras and then the one handheld camera? How did that work for you as far as like the style of it?
It was it was I think it was if you wanted to, if they wanted to do it like that, like if they wanted to have that story set up like that where it's just her and then you have the coffin and like things are happening um in that story where the coffin's moving a little bit, she's walking around and stuff, and you can't really get bits and pieces of it, then I guess like the choice to put different cameras in to capture everything at the same time, I think
Hmm.
it's a pretty good choice if you wanted to capture certain things. Just in case, like you don't want to like miss anything, I guess, in that scene when it's going on. So I thought it was a pretty yeah, it's a nice choice. It
Yeah,
definitely
yeah.
like activity. You know,
That
that kind
oh,
of
like
like
Paranormal Activity a little bit.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I got that vibe. I got that vibe. I kind of felt a little mixed on it. Like I feel like the handheld camera was a cop out. You know, like I just feel like that was like oh well. Instead of figuring out a clever way to cover that and shoot that scene with just still cameras, because have you seen the new Batman movie?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so I don't want to spoil anything, but one of the best action scenes in the movie is an action scene that takes place entirely in close-ups. When that kind of action scene, is done with your usual intercutting of wides and mediums and close-ups and stuff like that. This entire action scene is done in close-ups, like little pieces at a time. And it's one of the best fucking action scenes I've seen in a while, especially in a superhero movie. So I think they had a very good idea going with the wake and these cameras being set up because somebody said they needed to like capture the whole thing. I just really feel like the other handheld camera just kind of like robbed it of any potential of being as scary as it could have been, you know? Because one of the fun things about the Paranormal Activity movies, and I'm glad you bring it up, is what you don't see, and it's what's suggested and all that. And I think the one thing that kind of bothers me, or at least the one thing that I kind of the second fucking Storm Drain was all about Ratman, which is a climactic puppet, right? And then we have Empty Wake, which ends with her facing off with another climactic special effect. Like two of those back to back, it's like, well, you're kind of giving away the fucking trick here. You know what I mean? So unfortunately, like I think Empty Wake has a lot of potential and a lot of really good moments overall, but unfortunately, like it just doesn't commit to its best like scares, you know? And instead, I just think like the last part of it where she's facing with the zombie, I just thought it was kind of like it has again good moments, but kind of like expected, you know?
Yeah, I agree. I feel like it's the weakest out of the bunch,
Uh-huh.
for me at least, because it's just like the build up. I didn't mind the build up of it. Like if you're gonna build something up, like hit it with a home run in a good way. But the way to build it up was a little boring, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
And but I did like the way it ends. I did
Mhm.
like that. When his body's falling apart and he
The
attacks
tornado.
her,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden like there's a siren going off, and then
Well, the
the
tornado hits.
oh, a tornado hits.
Yeah, remember they were talking about the tornado warning?
Oh, I must have
It
missed
was
that.
set up, yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. And then like she walks out, but it's like she's walking like she's the guy.
Yeah.
Like how did that happen?
Yeah, it's the weakest. It's the weakest in
Yeah,
the movie, if you ask me to.
yeah. But yeah, that's my thoughts on it.
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say about it too.
Yeah.
So yeah, go ahead and talk about the subject, the one that was shot in Indonesia.
Dude, this is my favorite. out of the bunch. Um,
Okay.
it's uh, it's just amazing, man. I don't know, like from beginning to end, it's so captivating. You got the scientist guy. He's trying to engineer half human, half robots. There's certain things
Well,
that
I mean, but I don't want to
oh
cut you off. I don't want to cut you off or anything. But the very first thing is the guy's head on the robot spider's body. Like
oh
it's
yeah
such a
yeah
fucking that is such a great way to set the stage for what we're about to watch, man. What were you saying?
yeah just yeah that too and seeing him cutting a guy's arm off and having him put it on a robot hand which is a blade of some sort
Yeah,
and him interacting with the girl because she's also a robot, half human, half robot, and she's doing what you call it she has like a gun for a hand,
yeah, uh huh,
like a machine gun. So that comes in later, but that one was cool too. Like she uses it
yeah,
to gun down people. And the oh yeah, and the scientist scenes are funny, interesting too. And then when he gets killed, and then that's when the carnage happens, where all the SWAT guys come in,
yeah.
and he starts, the robots start killing everybody, and that was fun. Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah, yeah. I like this one a lot. I really did, but I do have. I really think that the first act goes on a little too long. It takes a little too long, like setting everything up before the SWAT team shows up. That's the only complaint I have about it. Otherwise, yeah, I agree with you. This is a fantastic little action horror movie. You know that handles both of those things very well. I thought it had a good mixture of body horror, of traditional horror, and just like I mean, the movie turns into a first person shooter for like a good like 5 minutes, and it's fucking badass. Like, there's one thing that I kept saying throughout this particular movie. Again, excuse me, is this is fucking badass, you know?
Yeah, I agree. It's a cool, like, fun, just horror shooter type of
Uh huh.
feel,
Yeah.
and I just love the way they show the robots what they look like. The girl,
The
she looks,
reveal.
yeah, the reveal, and like when she goes up to the glass, she like shows her face and her body, and she's like all like messed up. And it's cool though. Like, it wasn't scary to me for some reason. Like it was creepy, but it was also like it was fun for some reason. You're just into it, you know. Um, you got the robots fighting the SWAT. There's just like a lot of blood, a lot of gore.
Yeah.
Uh, the one SWAT guy shoots the other dude because he's trying to kill the lady, and the other guy feels bad for her, and he's
Yeah.
trying to save her. But then he gets screwed over because the robot comes in and chops all of his arms off and his legs. And
Yeah.
I think he got the worst out of all of them.
I know,
He,
right? Well, that's a horror movie for you.
yeah,
No, yeah, dude. Yeah, like I feel like every VHS movie just has that centerpiece, you know, like the one that they clearly spent the majority of their money on. And this time, yeah, no, I definitely think it was the subject. And yeah, dude, like if there is one thing I can critique here besides the opening being just a little too slow for my taste, is some of the CGI kind of is rough for being so close up, you know. But these are like small teams and they're doing the best they can. You really can't hold too much against them and all that. Honestly, like I had to dig to the CG to find anything to criticize here, and that's because like yeah, dude, this is a good fucking time. It's a good fucking time, you know,
yeah,
and yeah, I guess that's all I really have to say about that one.
yeah, me too. Yeah. I was well. Actually, I'll say one more thing. Like, um, it's cool that like yeah, it was shot in Indonesia and it had like I think those were real Asian actors.
Yeah.
That yeah, I was working with, and they're speaking their foreign language. And I love that. So yeah, it's cool. I just want to mention that because I thought that was cool and unique and like different.
Yeah. It's good to have representation out there, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, but yeah, that's all I gotta say for that one. So let's move on to the next.
All right, and our last movie is Terror, a film inspired by the 1/6 fucking rally in 2020 or whatever. I'm just joking, man. What do you think about Terror?
It's it felt like they were trying to build up the characters
Uh huh.
for some reason. Are they supposed to be like um those crazy like uh gun rich people?
Insurrectionists. Yeah,
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, um, I do like the parts where they're like shooting the guy over and over again, as if
yeah,
it's like at first I thought like the second time they shot him, I thought it was like a replay, but
yeah.
it wasn't. It was like they were actually shooting the guy over and over again because he doesn't die because he's some sort of like monster or something. Um, the that one was funny in certain parts too, like the
Mm-hmm.
characters. You know, they do some funny stuff. Um, but yeah, when Hell breaks loose, that was cool too. You know, but it felt short. You know, when Hell breaks loose,
Yeah,
not like the other one where it's like when Hell breaks loose, like it takes a while to till it ends. You know, whereas this
yeah.
one's like it ends like within less than 5 minutes or less than
Yeah,
3 minutes.
it's sudden. Yeah, you know, I feel like if VHS stayed like a semi-annual release, you know, something that came out like once every year, once every 2 or 3 years or whatever. I feel like if that was like a consistent thing, we were like on the fourth or fifth VHS movie, this would have been the first movie we watched. You know, kind of like because like in and of itself, it's fine. It's actually a pretty well put together little short. Well, I do have one big criticism of it is that we're following the bad guys. We're we're following terrorists, people who are
Yeah.
planning to blow up innocent people. You know, so like you never have any sympathy for anyone in this movie. So and I mean, don't get me wrong. Like if it did a smart thing, is by it's being short, so you're sitting shitty people within a short amount of time suffer the consequences for being shitty people. However, we're coming at the end of a like a good hour and a half worth of really good short films, and now we're ending. Well, except for at least the last one before this was like a really long, good short film, and we're ending on Terror, which is a short, mediocre, just kind of okay movie, you know, and it does it no favors. Again, that it's short, that it's so kind of basic, and it's just badly placed.
I agree, man. It's just it took too long to get to the part where they all get slaughtered.
And it was
Um,
just another creature feature, a climactic ending, like all the other ones, you know.
yeah, and yeah, they don't have sympathy. I don't have sympathy for them. Like I said, they're trying to act like they're building up the characters as if you want to care for them, but they're really shitty people, and you want to
Yeah,
see them die. And, you know, it's a very weird take on that. You know, to try to
yeah,
you know build the characters up as if they're you know you're gonna be attached to them, but you're not.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, no, yeah. But honestly, yeah, like that's all I really have to say about Terror, man. It's not the best way to end it, but not a bad movie in and of itself. If I were to see it on YouTube by itself, I actually might have liked it a little more than I do right now. But unfortunately, at the end of a full featured film, you're kind of ready to go to bed.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it, man. That's VHS 1994. Is there anything else you got to say to that?
Um, if they were to make another one, I would love if if it. I would love it if they did this like this. Instead of having it like a creature feature or a supernatural type of short like films, have it grounded like thriller, and like have it like all most of them thrillers or like grounded horror or like realistic type horror like school shooting whatever, just
Okay.
something that is related like reality type of thing,
Yeah.
instead of fictional like fantasy slash supernatural sci-fi whatever. But yeah, that's all I gotta say about that VHS 94. Sure.
Yeah. All right, man. Um. Well, you want to go ahead and wrap it up?
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
All right, man. What's the movie next week, Dom?
Oh, dude, the movie next week. So it's gonna be Halloween 3: Season of the Witch.
Good shit, bro. All right, the one I haven't seen. Let's do it.
Yeah. It was tough. I was either picking between Candyman or Halloween 3: Season of the Witch, but I was like, since you probably haven't, I was thinking maybe he hasn't seen it yet, so I was
I
like,
haven't seen
okay,
Candyman actually, so I'm
yeah,
excited
yeah,
to
yeah.
see that soon. I hope.
But yeah, I was. That's why I said I was like, yeah. But yeah, I was just pick Halloween 3: Season of the Witch, and
All
you'll like
yeah,
it.
awesome. Good shit, Dom. Yeah. I think I already kind of went through my top three for next week and my plugs. So yeah, everybody who is watching along, thanks for watching along. Um, Dom, anything else to add, homeboy?
No, that's it. Thank you all for watching.
All right, everyone, have a good week.
All right, everyone, take care. Bye.
Peace.
Oh, wait, not done yet.